What happens when speed meets sound at one of NASCAR's most iconic racetracks? We found out.
Yes, we're together.
My name is Andrew.
And my name is Julie.
And yes, we're together.
It's Bristol, baby.
So Julie and I visited Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. And you got to watch to the very end, and we'll go through the cost breakdown we do with all our trips, and that will help you budget yourself. But we don't promise that we're going to save you guys money. We're here just to give you the honest experience of the adventure or vacation.
Yeah, I was surprised at how easily it is to spend money when you're at the racetrack.
Yeah, we'll get more into that later. So we flew into the Tri-City Airport, and then this airport is small.
There's only 6 gates.
Yeah, that was quite impressive, and only 2 baggage claim areas. You can see that the airport is pretty empty here as we took shots for you all. But this is the most convenient. You could also fly into Knoxville, but that's quite the drive. It's going to be about 2 hours south of the actual racetrack. So Julie and I usually fly first class because we have bags that we want to check in. It will cost a little bit more. So we'll go through the breakdown at the end, but expect that if you want to go economy, you can probably pay half of what we spent on our tickets typically. So the deal with housing is that there are multiple options. There's camping options. There's actually RV options, and there's RV options at the site of the Speedway, but they are kind of expensive.
Yeah, I looked at the prices and it was almost as expensive as our hotel. So we ended up actually saving money because we would have had to rent an RV and then rent the space. So for us, it was more economical to get a hotel.
And how much was it per night when you looked at it for the RVs?
For the weekend, it was almost $1,000.
That's a lot.
So if you want to RV, there are other options besides that $1,000 that you could spend. You could also do on-site dry camping, and then off-site they have shuttles from different campgrounds. So there are plenty of camping and glamping options, but there are quite a few hotels in the area as well.
Yeah, but be prepared that everyone jacks up their prices for the weekend. So we stayed at the DoubleTree, and the DoubleTree normally ranges under $200 and as cheap as about $150 per night. But when we were there on the night before the NASCAR 500, the price of the room was almost $400. It was like $390 and change.
Not including taxes and fees.
Yeah, so that was quite expensive for that type of hotel, but we were within 15, 20 minutes of the racetrack. So there was a Rodney Atkins concert before the NASCAR 500 on Sunday. And the concert is actually included with the price of the NASCAR tickets. However, if you want an infield experience, we bought these passes, and these are the pre-race infield experience. I recommend doing it. The infield experience allowed you to get really close to the pits, and we were able to get close to the driver's introductions. And the concert was also awesome because the stage was right there. Rodney Atkins is right in front.
I think so. It was really a great experience, and they also had a DJ there, so they were hyping up the crowd, and it was a really sweet time. I loved it. It was really neat. And it's so amazing to be in the middle and look up at the stands just to kind of get more of the magnitude of how big this place is, how many people can seat there. And just like scale is just so much different when you're down there and you see like really how short the track really is. And there's so many cars driving this short track. I'm glad that we did that. That was really cool.
So there's several infield experiences. You can pay to walk around the track before the race. You can also pay to get close access to all the pits and walk around. But keep in mind that if you paid for those 2 previous experiences, the infield experiences that don't include the concert infield, they kind of separate you. So basically you can stand at the fence in the back, which is not too far. It's about probably 100 feet back, but you won't get to be up front and to the stage, but you can still see the drivers, introductions. And so you have to decide what's important. We bought the infield experience to the concert, and using my camera, you can see that I got very good photos of the pits. I was able to see the pit crew playing baseball on the track before the race began. So I think the concert experience is the way to go.
Well, and especially for us, because we're not car people necessarily. Like, we don't change our own oil. I don't know anything about cars. So other than where to put gas in it and, how to drive it. So for us, it's interesting and neat to watch how the pit crews react during the race and do their things so fast. That's really cool. But for us, it's more meaningful for us to have the music. But for people who are way into cars, then I would say do the pit thing.
So it's not just about the drivers. This is a team effort. The pits, the crew, they're like well-oiled machines. And every second counts. And it's amazing to see how they can swap out tires. And a lot of times you'll hear about tire management. We also recommend that you get the radios. And the radios allow you to monitor the chatter between the drivers and the pit crew. And you can see how they communicate. At one time, I think it was a really close call, and the driver's like, whoa, this is close to wrecking the car. I think I lost my right mirror. And that was kind of cool. But here you can see, for example, in this clip, there was a bad accident that happened on the track. They froze the race, and everyone basically parked their car on the backside track, and you can hear the chatter.
And that was in the 300 on Saturday that we went to, where the crash was. During the 500, there weren't any really crashes per se.
Yeah, so let's listen to this clip where you can see the video, and I actually plugged the radio into the camera so that it can actually pick up what they were talking about.
And because of your situation with your chassis, you'll buzz it every once in a while above. Yeah, copy. I'll be able to hold it. I think we have a good enough car. We're going to get points. We're going to pit and get points.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Getting these parking passes are worth it. It's about over $100, but you don't have to take the shuttles. You don't have to walk very far. It's literally right there at the track. But there's one thing. You're going to get in the track easily. You're going to get out to your car easily. But 1 hour after the race, they can actually freeze any movement in the cars.
Yeah, so you're parked close to the door, but you're not parked close to the exit. So, it gives you an opportunity to sit in your car and listen to music, because we did that both days where we were just talking about what we saw and all the things. But getting there, it's pretty hilly, and so we're in Bristol is East Tennessee, so we're talking mountain country, which is absolutely beautiful. It's early spring. Everything was green. It's so pretty there and hilly. And so get your walking shoes on. Don't worry about looking too cute. You need to make sure that you bundle up. It's the mountains, and so sometimes it's cold. It was really cold on Monday. It was nicer on Sunday. The sun was out, but there's a lot of walking, and they do have golf carts coming and going, but there's lots of stairs inside the track as well. So inside the stadium. So wear comfortable shoes. Expect to wait in lines. Expect to wait to get out. Wear sneakers.
And if you're going in April, like we did, make sure you layer. So bring some warm clothes. We had stocking caps and gloves.
But that wasn't enough. We needed more. We're used to being in Florida, so we were cold.
And this guy was brave enough to camp there in a tent. I just can't imagine, because the temperatures were close to 40 degrees.
At night, it was 32.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's so cold.
This is a huge Coliseum. This thing was like 150,000 capacity. And on the NASCAR 500 day, it was about maybe half capacity. So probably about 70,000 fans there. But, you know, Bristol is known for a short track and for its mayhem because of the short track. It's only a half mile around per lap. And so, you know, the saying is it's the fastest half mile in the world. And the action's quite impressive. The cars got really close. I mean, we got cars that
There was tapping.
yeah, at over 150 miles an hour, they were tapping.
Yeah, that's wild.
But something about food, you can bring in your own food. You're actually allowed a small cooler.
But it has to be soft-sided. It can't be a firm cooler.
So that means you can bring in your own drinks. You can bring in your own food, which I do recommend. We were out of towners, and so we bought food, and it was expensive. You know, for $8, we had like some nachos, and it was like maybe 12 chips.
It's not a value. It's not a value. It's not a good value.
And the alcohol tax there was high. It was like over 25%.
Yeah. The drinks ended up being very, very expensive. So we would recommend, even if you're an outer towner, maybe like going to the grocery store ahead of time because you're really not getting good value.
And what's exciting is just the action, you know, the checkered flag, basically the close racing, you know, just the adrenaline.
Well, and also those headphones help protect your hearing because it's super loud. And then you're tethered we can tether to each other and then talk through your headset to each other.
Yeah, so we definitely recommend that if you don't get the headsets, which act as a layer of hearing protection, is to actually bring hearing protection.
It was still very loud. You could hear it in your chest. I kept thinking that my phone was ringing because I had it on silent and I thought it was vibrating. No, it was the track. And we were all the way at the top. I was like, wow, the whole place was shaking with all these cars driving all so fast around this circle. It's quite a thing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely adrenaline filled. But it's also very costly. Okay, so we're going to go through the breakdown of our costs after I go through the pricing that's available. So if you want a more luxurious than what the stands can offer, then you can actually go for the Bristol Tap Room. The Bristol Tap Room is at $529.86, and that's for today's prices. It's an indoor skybox suite that gives you access in an atmosphere that's high above the racetrack. So you're at the very top, and this view allows you to see all the action of the entire race, as well as the front and back stretch pit roads. Upgrade from that, and these prices are for per person for the weekend. Okay, so that's for both races, the 300 and also the 500. So the Bristol Club is at $1,458.49 per person. It's a fully climate-controlled environment with all the all-inclusive meals that you can eat and drinks, and it's a theater-style seat in the house. The exclusive or more exclusive suite is the 1961 suite at $2,141.30. This takes you to the next level at Bristol's most exclusive luxury suite. The most luxury suite, they don't say what the price is. It's called the Chairman's Experience. And basically you call them for the price. Anytime we see that, we know it's going to be
way too expensive.
Yeah. So what did we pay? I thought we paid quite a bit too. So our airfare was $1,375.14. Our lodging for 3 days was $1,066.88, almost $400 a day. So just shy of $300 and something dollars. Our rental car, $256.09. A 2-day NASCAR tickets in the Allison Terrace. So basically, if you're going to go to the summer, I do recommend picking seating that has cover. So most of the seating does not have cover, and those are the ones that are close to the track and they're cheaper. But the cheapest seats that I saw were roughly around $80 a seat. But what we paid for the 2-day experience for 2 people was $479.53 to be in the highest part of the stands, which you're away from the sound, away from the fumes, but you're also under cover. So if there was bad weather, rain, or sun, you were protected. And
we also had backs to our seats. We had actual seats instead of sitting on a metal, like a bleacher, which for when you get to a certain age, those things become more important.
And you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So typically over $200 per person for a 2-day event. And then for the pre-race infield experience, we paid $275.28. For the upgraded parking for 2 days, $151.24. And for the scanner and radio rental, $118.95. For a total of $3,722.11.
It's an expensive weekend.
It is. And so would we do this again?
I'm not a huge NASCAR fan. I'm much more of a rodeo type of gal.
I think she's more of a Formula One gal.
Well, we could try that, but
Yeah, I figured so.
I'll try. Hey, I'll try something once.
Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. And if you liked what you heard, please like, comment, and share. And also hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of our future videos.